Hi students, welcome to the Narayana digital classes. Today in this video, I am going to give the solutions for JEE Mains 2020 September 5th Shift 2. Before starting, I want to inform one thing. We collected all these questions based on the feedback given by the students. So, these are memory based questions. So, that's why in the question small changes may be there. At the same time, in the options also small changes may be there. In the key, maximally key changes may not be there, but small may be possible. So, keep it in your mind. So, from this solution, you will get some idea about your marks. So, for that purpose, definitely it is useful. Let me start. Let me start with the first question. First question is, which of the following compound will show geometrical isomerism? It is the question based on the geometrical isomerism. See, in which case geometrical isomerism possible? In the rigid molecule, where the restricted rotation possible. In such molecule, if two spatial arrangements are possible, then geometrical isomerism possible. Now see, around about the C double bond C, restricted rotation possible. So, in alkenes, geometrical isomerism possible. At the same time, cycloalkanes also, about the ring, restricted rotation possible. So, in cycloalkanes also, geometrical isomerism possible. Okay, all alkenes cannot exhibit the geometrical isomerism. Which type of alkenes? If each double bond carbon is attached to two different groups, then geometrical isomerism possible. Now, let me explain the first option. See, this double bond carbon attached to hydrogen chlorine, two different groups. Now, this double bond carbon, this group are different. So, with respect to C double bond C, now here geometrical isomerism possible. So, answer is first option. Remaining are not correct. First, one more point. At beginning only what I said, these are the questions based on the memory. Some students given another feedback. Sir, not this option. Some students are saying that it is the option. Such this type of option is also there. Some students said like that. Now, in this case, okay, at this double bond, these two are different, but these two are same. These two are same. Now, with respect to C double bond C, now geometrical isomerism not possible. Now, with respect to the ring possible. With respect to the ring, see here hydrogen methyl. Here hydrogen methyl. If two hydrogens are on the above the plane or below the plane, then cis. One hydrogen above the plane, other hydrogen below the plane, then trans. So, if it is there, it will be the answer. At present, based on these four options, I am giving option 1 as a correct answer. If it is there, it will be the answer. Okay. Now, first question completed. Now, come to the next question. Second question is this one. To this compound, HBr is added. What is the product? Means major product they want. They want major product. See, alkenes, addition of HBr. It is the electrophilic addition. First H plus electrophile, after that Br minus nucleophile will be added. Now, see, what is the reactant given? CH2 double bond CH, CH3, CH3. Now, see, it is electrons releasing group, na? So, pi electrons will be shifted like this. Pi electrons will be shifted like this. Now, H plus electrophile, where it has to attach? Here it acquiring negative charge, na? So, it will be attached here. Now, it will get positive charge. It will get positive charge. Positive charge. Now CH3, CH plus CH, CH3, CH3. Next. Now, in carbocation, rearrangement is also possible if there is possibility in increase in stability as a result of rearrangement. Now see, here for this carbocation, 3 plus 1, 4 alpha hydrogens are there. If it undergoes 1,2 hydride shift, then there is possibility for increase in stability. So in this way, 1,2 hydride shift takes place. Now what is formed? CH3, CH2, CH3, CH3 plus. Previously it is a secondary carbocation. Now it is a tertiary carbocation. And how many alpha hydrogens are there? 3, 3, 2, 8 alpha hydrogens. So 8 hyperconjugation structures possible. Here 3 plus 1, 4 alpha hydrogens, 4 hyperconjugated structures only possible. So there is possibility increase in stability, na? So in this way shift possible. Now Br minus nucleophile will be attacked here. So final product is what? This rearrangement product. What is that rearrangement product? Option 3. Here Br minus added, na? So option 3 is the final product. Now come to the next question. Which of the following is not a condensation polymer? What is condensation? Addition of 2 or more molecules with eliminating some simple molecules, small molecules like water, ammonia, HCl. Then that is called condensation. Now see, nylon here not a condensation polymer. See, nylon 6, it is the condensation polymer of the caprolactam. Next, nylon 6,6. Here this 6 and 6 indicates what? It indicates the number of carbons in the monomer. Nylon 6,6, it is the polymer of adipic acid, 6 carbons dicarboxylic acid, hexamethylene diamine. Adipic acid, 6 carbons dicarboxylic acid, 6 carbons dicarboxylic acid plus second one hexamethylene diamine. Now during the polymerization what happens? OH from carboxylic acid, H from this amine will come out as water here also like this. So during the polymerization water eliminated. So it is the condensation polymer. Nylon 6 condensation polymer, nylon 6,6 also condensation polymer. Bakelite, it is also condensation polymer of phenol and formaldehyde. See, phenol and formaldehyde. In the presence of acid or base catalyst, first it will convert into this intermediate compound CH2OH like this, CH2OH. And now here what happens? Now in this way water molecule will be eliminated during the polymerization. So it is also condensation. Now come to the BuNA. It is the polymer of 1,3-butadiene. 1,3-butadiene plus N stands for acrylonitrile, means vinyl cyanide. See, now here there is no elimination of any molecule. This pi electrons shifted to here. This pi bond converts into sigma bond between the two monomers. It will convert into sigma bond between this monomer and next coming 1,3-butadiene. Here it is simple addition. So it is the addition polymer, not the condensation polymer. Our question is not a condensation polymer. So Buna N is the addition polymer, not the condensation polymer. Now come to the next question. What is the use of bromophenyramine? Simple direct theory question. It is the antihistamine. It is the antihistamine. It is the direct theory question. Now come to the next one. Come to the next question. Now see. This metamethyl aniline subjected to acetylation, after that bromination, after that hydrolysis. Now they want to measure product C. Measure product C. See, here in this case what happens? Metamethyl aniline plus acetic anhydride. See, NH2 benzene ring strongly activating group. If you do the bromination of aniline directly, with Br2 in carbon disulfide or Br2 in water, in both the cases you will get a white precipitate of 2,4,6-tribromoaniline. Why? Because NH2 benzene ring strongly activating group. Now it is subjected to acetylation with acetic anhydride. Now it is nucleophile. It will attack here like that. If you eliminate this acetic acid, what you will get? Metamethyl acetanilide you will get. Metamethyl acetanilide. Acetic acid came out now. Now see. Now this NHCOCH3, it is benzene ring moderately activating group only, not strongly activating group. Now it is subjected to bromination. Br2 in the presence of FeBr3. See, in case of bromination of aniline, no Lewis acid catalyst. Bromination of aniline, phenol, inosol also. For that, no need of Lewis acid catalyst. Now this is not very much strongly activating group. Now Lewis acid catalyst is also required. And one more point, this one, both are benzene ring activating groups only. It is weakly activating group, it is moderately activating group. So now electrophilic substitution has to take place with respect to what? It is weakly, it is moderately, means this only little bit stronger activating group than this, and it is ortho-para directing group. At ortho position crowding will be there. So majorly bromination takes place at para. So bromination, now what you will get? NHCOCH3 methyl. Now bromination majorly takes place at para, not at ortho. At ortho crowding effect will be there. Next, now it is subjected to hydrolysis. Now we remove this protection. Now what you will get? This NH2 methyl Br. So what is the correct answer? Here correct answer is option 2. Option 2 is the correct answer. It is one of the good questions. Now come to the next question. Which is the correct order of boiling point of given compounds? Here boiling point order they want. See, para-methyl phenol, next para-aminophenol, para-nitrophenol, para-methoxyphenol. Now if you take, in all these phenol common, these are all phenol derivatives. Here in this NH2OH, because of both intermolecular hydrogen bonding possible. So when compared with the remaining, this can form more number of intermolecular hydrogen bonding. In the remaining also possible, but only because of OH hydrogen bonding possible. But here because of OH and NH2 also. So it can form more number of intermolecular hydrogen bonds. So that's why boiling point highest for 2. First one over. Now among the remaining 3, for which one boiling point is more? Now along with the intermolecular hydrogen bonds, in between them dipole-dipole attractions are also there. Hydrogen bonding common. Now if dipole moment is more, then that dipole-dipole attractions are strong. Automatically dipole-dipole attractions means intermolecular forces are strong, automatically boiling point will be more. So from the remaining 3, how to decide? Based on the dipole moment. See here, this OH, it is electrons releasing group. Now NO2, electrons withdrawing group. So for this dipole moments will be added up, but in the remaining cases it is electrons releasing group, this also electrons releasing group, here also both are electrons releasing groups now. So dipole moment something cancellation possible. So among the remaining 3 molecules, dipole moment is more for this third one. Dipole moment is more for third one. So second boiling point is highest for third compound. Next, in between these 2, small memory or elimination procedure we have to follow. Now finally 4 greater than 1. These 2 little bit comparison little bit difficult. Better to follow the elimination procedure. Then so finally what is the correct boiling point order? Compound 2 greater than, 3 greater than, 4 greater than 1. So correct answer is option 1. Option 1. Now come to the total number of chiral carbon atoms present in sucrose is. Now sucrose, it is a disaccharide of alpha D glucopyranose, beta D fructofuranose. Now see, CH2OH, CH, CHOH, COH, H, CHOH, C. Now here OH, here OH. From this we remove water. From this we remove water. See, sorry, not the water. This OH will be added at this C double bond O. Then you will get this one. OH right hand side now, so it is called alpha. Next, CH2OH, CH, CHOH, COH, H. Now to this C double bond O, we add this OH. Now from this glucose and fructose, if you remove from these two, if you remove water, you will get sucrose. No? Now our question is, how many chiral carbons are present? In this glucose, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 chiral carbons present. In this fructose, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 chiral carbons present. 5 plus 4, 9. So what is the answer? Answer is 9 for this question. Now come to the next question. The minimum distance between the centers of 2 octahedral voids in FCC lattice in terms of edge length is. Edge length A. In terms of A, they want the answer. See. See, in this FCC, what are the lattice positions? 8 corners, 8 corners, 8 corners and 6 face centers, na? 6 face centers, 8 corners and 6 face centers. In this FCC, for each FCC unit cell, 4 atoms possible. So 4 octahedral voids, 8 tetrahedral voids will be there. Now, what are the positions of the octahedral voids? At 12 edge centers and center of the body. At 12 edge centers and center of the body. See, at 12 edge centers and center of the body also. Now, what they want, the minimum distance between the 2 octahedral voids, this one they want. See, they said this edge length is A, na? Now, this distance A by 2, this distance A by 2. Now, apply the Pythagoras theorem. Now, this distance square equal to this square plus this square. A square by 4 plus A square by 4. Now, this equal to 2A square by 4. This equal to A square by 2. This is what? This distance square. Now, this distance equal to square root of this. Now, how much you will get? A by root 2. So, what is the closest distance between the 2 octahedral voids? A by root 2. So, correct answer is option 3. Now, come to the next question. Which of the following statement is correct regarding the probability density? See, except infinity. That one you have to read properly. You have to read the question properly. Probability density, chi-square versus R graph. What they want, statement is correct regarding the probability density. Now, see, for 2p cannot be 0. Probability density cannot be 0. See, chi-square versus R graph. Chi-square versus R graph. For 2p, how it will be? It will be like this. For this, probability of the finding electron 0 at infinity distance. See, what is 2p? For 2p cannot be 0. It is, which of the following statement is correct regarding them? For 2p cannot be 0. So, it is wrong. Now, if you take the 3p, chi-square versus R. Now, how it will be the graph? 2p, 3p, like this. Now, it is the radial node. Here, probability density can be 0. So, what they said? 3p can be 0. Probability density can be 0. Yes, correct only. So, answer is this one. Now, see. For 1s, graph will be like this. For 1s, chi-square versus R. For this also, this probability density will be 0 at infinity distance only. So, they said can be 0. So, it is wrong. Can be 0, wrong. Cannot be 0. For 2s, never be 0. See, for 2s, chi-square versus R graph. Chi-square versus R graph. Now, here it can be 0. They said never be 0. So, these are all wrong statements. So, for 3p, probability density can be 0. Yes, correct. At this place can be 0. Answer is second option. Now, come to the next question. Using the following graph, find the activation energy. Using the following graph, find the activation energy. See, it is ln k. versus 1000 by t graph. See, we know that Arrhenius equation k equal to a into e to the power minus ea by rt. If you take the natural logarithm on both the sides, now ln k equal to ln a minus ea by rt. Now multiply this one with 1000 and divide this one with 1000, then value it will not change. Now ln k equal to 10 to the power minus 3 by t into this plus 3 ea by 10 cube r plus ln a. Now it is in the form of y equal to mx plus c. Now slope equal to what? ea by 10 cube r. Now slope y2 minus y1 by x2 minus x1. What is y2 minus y1 by x2 minus x1? Now 10 by 5. So minus 2. This equal to ea by. So now minus cancelled. So now ea equal to 2 into 10 cube into r. See, they want in kilojoules. This is in joules. 1000 joules equal to 1 kilojoule. Na? So what is the answer? 2r kilojoules. It is in joules. You will get in joules. So 1000 joules means kilojoule. Na? So 2r kilojoule is the answer. Now come to the next question. Which of the following graph between x by m versus p is correct? X by m. It is based on the Freundlich adsorption isotherm. It is based on the Freundlich adsorption isotherm. See, x by m versus pressure. At the beginning, it increases linearly. After that curve, at high pressure, with increasing the pressure, extent of adsorption almost remains constant. So, these two graphs are wrong. Now, any one of these two is correct. Next, since adsorption is exothermic, adsorption is favorable at low temperature only. With increasing the temperature, extent of adsorption decreases. With decreasing the temperature, extent of adsorption increases. See, here if you keep the pressure constantly, here extent of adsorption value increasing with decreasing the temperature. But here if you keep the pressure constantly, here extent of adsorption increasing with increasing the temperature. Wrong, na? With increasing the temperature, extent of adsorption has to decrease. With decreasing the temperature, extent of adsorption has to increase. So finally, correct answer is second option. Now, come to the next question. A diatomic gas expands adiabatically so that final density is 32 times the initial density. So density increased by 32 times. Final pressure will be n times the initial pressure. What is that n value? See, it is the adiabatic process. T1 T2 relation not given. So we have to take it as adiabatic reversible process. For adiabatic reversible process, we can follow P into V to the power gamma equal to constant. Now, it is diatomic gas, they said. For diatomic gas, gamma value how much? Gamma value 1.4 or 7 by 5. See, what they said, density became 32 times. Now see, in this process, since the weight of the gas is constant, density increased by 32 times, na? So volume will decrease by 32 times. Why? Because density equal to mass by volume. Mass of the gas is constant here. So density can become 32 times if volume decreased by 32 times. Now P into V to the power gamma equal to constant. Now P2 by P1 equal to V1 by V2 to the power gamma how much? 7 by 5. Gamma 7 by 5. Now see, now V1 by V2 becomes what? It is V1 by V2 becomes how much? 32. 32 you can write it as 2 to the power 5. So this equal to 2 to the power 7. 2 to the power is 30. 2 to the power 5 is 32. Into 2 into 2. It becomes 128. So final pressure is 128 times the initial pressure. So what is the answer? 128, first option. Now come to the next question. See, following graph is observed for which of the electrolytic solution? This graph is correct for which electrolytic solution? Acetic acid, weak acid. Weak acids and weak bases are weak electrolytes. HCl, strong acid, strong electrolyte. These are water soluble salts. Salts also strong electrolytes. See, only for weak electrolytes, with decreasing the concentration, lambda value increase for everybody. But for weak electrolyte, what happens? When concentration reaches 0, then lambda will increase drastically. But for the remaining, for strong electrolytes, linearly will increase. For these 3 strong electrolytes, with the dilution, that is with decreasing the concentration, molar conductance and equivalent conductance, they will increase linearly. But for here exponentially. When concentration reaches 0, it will increase exponentially, drastically. So this graph is correct for weak electrolyte. Here weak electrolyte is acetic acid. So answer is first option. Now come to the next question. The products formed by reaction of ammonia with excess of chlorine are, excess is what? Chlorine, not the ammonia. See, when ammonia reacts with excess of chlorine, what we will get? Nitrogen trichloride, NCl3 plus HCl. See, if ammonia is excess, if ammonia is excess, then you will get nitrogen plus ammonium chloride. So which one is excess? That one you have to check. Excess of chlorine. So what are the products? Nitrogen trichloride and hydrochloric acid. Third option is correct one. Now come to the next question. Two complex compounds given. Cis COEN taken twice Cl2 plus. Trans COEN taken twice Cl2 plus. Which of the above complex is optically active? Which is optically active? See. Now COEN taken twice. COEN taken twice. Trans isomer. COEN taken twice. Trans isomer. Trans isomer. Now see, it is the trans isomer. In this plane of symmetry is there. So many planar. It is the plane of symmetry. Plane of symmetry means what? It is the imaginary plane which bisects the molecule into two equal halves. This one, or you can take this square also plane of symmetry, plane of symmetry present, no? So it is superimposable on its mirror image, so that's why it is optically inactive. But if you take the cis isomer, NH2, CH2, CH2, next Cl, NH2, see, in this there is no plane of symmetry, no center of symmetry. That's why it is non-superimposable on its mirror image. As a result, it is optically active. So, which one is optically active? This cis isomer only optically active. So, answer is option 1. Now, come to the next question. Correct arrangement of the following spaces in the increasing order, not the decreasing order. In the increasing order of their sizes, what are those ions? N3 minus, O2 minus, F minus, Na plus, Mg2 plus, Al3 plus. Now, see, these are all isoelectronic species. See, N3 minus, nitrogen gained 3 electrons. So, totally 10 electrons, 7 protons. Next, O2 minus, oxygen gained 2 electrons, 8 plus 2, 10 electrons, 8 protons. Next, F minus, fluorine gained 1 electron, so 10 electrons, 9 protons. Next, Na plus, now 11 minus 1, 10 electrons, 11 protons. Magnesium 2 plus, now 12 minus 2, 10 electrons, 12 protons. Aluminum 3 plus, now 13 minus 3, 10 electrons, 13 protons. Now, all these have same number of electrons, no? So these are isoelectronic species. Now, but number of protons in the nucleus increasing, na? So nucleus attraction over the outermost electrons increases. So what happens? Size decreases. So in isoelectronic species, with increasing the positive charge, size decreases. With increasing the negative charge, ionic size increases. So it is the logic. So now what they want? Increasing order. So from here to here we have to say. So what is the correct answer? This one, Mg3 plus, Al3 plus, Mg2 plus, Na plus, not this one, see this one. Al3 plus, Mg2 plus, Na plus, F minus, O2 minus, N3 minus. So now correct answer is option 1. Now come to the next question. Which of the following has maximum bond angle? Maximum bond angle. Carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, sulfur are the central atoms. See, methane. Here carbon central atom undergoing sp3 hybridization. No non-bonding electron pair. So this bond angle is equal to tetrahedral bond angle. 109 degrees or 28 minutes. Next, ammonia. Central atom sp3 hybridized, but one lone pair is there. Since this lone pair bond pair repulsion is more than that of bond pair repulsion, bond angle decreased slightly. It is 107 degrees. Next, water. Here also central atom sp3, but two lone pairs are there. Now, lone pair repulsion stronger than the lone pair bond pair repulsion. Here one lone pair, here two lone pairs, number of lone pairs increased. So deviation from the bond angle will increase. So here 104 degrees 28 minutes only. Now if you come to the H2S. Now in this H2S, sulfur, no hybridization. Pure p atomic orbitals of the sulfur involved in the bonding. In between the any two p orbitals, bond angle should be 90, but here 92 degrees. Why? In between the bond pairs, a little bit repulsion possible now. So here bond angle is 92 degrees. Now our question is maximum bond angle. So where the bond angle is maximum? Methane. Fourth option is the correct one. Now come to the next question. Impure form of hydrogen peroxide is found to be linear, planar, non-planar, blue colored, colorless. Like this they given. See, all of you know that hydrogen peroxide has open book like structure. Open book not completely opened, half opened. So it is non-planar, not linear, non-planar. On the spine of the book, peroxy bond. On the each cover, hydrogen. So it is not linear, it is not planar, non-planar. Next, hydrogen peroxide, that is nothing but aftershave lotion only. See, almost colorless, but if you observe that one clearly, very, very pale blue color, that too concentrated, pure form only. Otherwise, if you look that one, aftershave lotion only, of course, aftershave lotion, what we use, that company they will add some other flavoring agents. That's why our aftershave lotion may have some color. But pure hydrogen peroxide, almost colorless. But if you observe that one very carefully, pale blue shade will be there. So now what is the answer? Non-planar, blue color. So answer is option 4. Now come to the next question. Now pure boron and silicon can be obtained by, it is the theory question. It is prepared by Joule refining. See, in the 3A group, boron, aluminum, gallium, indium, thallium. In the 4th group, carbon, silicon, germanium, tin, lead. Tin, lead. Tin, lead. See, in the 3A group, along with boron, gallium and indium. Next, from the 4th group, silicon, germanium. All these can be refined, purified by Joule refining method. Joule refining method. It is the theory question. Now come to the next question. 0.02 molar potassium dichromate is treated with 0.288 grams of ferrous oxalate. How much volume in milliliter of potassium dichromate is required? It is the question. Here what is the concept? Number of equivalent weights of oxidizing agent equal to number of equivalent weights of reducing agent consumed. Number of equivalent weights of oxidizing agent consumed equal to number of equivalent weights of reducing agent consumed. Now, for this volume given, molarity volume for this weight, see, number of equivalent weights of potassium dichromate, normality into volume in liter or volume in milliliter by 1000. This is the number of equivalent weights of oxidizing agent equal to number of equivalent weights of reducing agent. For this weight given, weight by gram equivalent weight, weight by gram equivalent weight. Now see, here it is in acidic medium, that one also mentioned. Of course, in case of potassium dichromate, no confusion. In the acidic medium only it can act as oxidizing agent. For potassium dichromate in acidic medium, what is the valency factor? 6. From +6 to +3 it will be reduced. For each chromium decrease in oxidation number 3. For 2 chromiums decrease is 6. Now normality equal to molarity into valency factor 6. into volume in milliliter by 1000, volume in milliliter by 1000, and this equal to weight of the ferrous oxalate 0.288 by equivalent weight, molecular weight by n factor. Na? See, ferrous oxalate formula, ferrous Fe2 plus oxalate ion C2O4 2 minus, cancel the common factor. Now if you cross the valencies, after the cancellation you will get the formula 1 and 1 only. So ferrous oxalate formula FeC2O4. Now first calculate the molecular weight. Iron 56, carbon 12, 12 2 so 24, 16 4s 64. If you add all these, how much you will get? 144. 144. Now it is the molecular weight. Molecular weight. Now equivalent weight equal to molecular weight by n factor. Now see here, this ferrous and oxalate ion. See, this ferrous ion will be oxidized to ferric. For each iron, increase in oxidation number 1. In this oxalate, carbon will be oxidized to CO2. For each carbon, increase in oxidation number 1. Per 2 carbons, increase 2. Per each iron, increase 1. No? Per each carbon 1, 2 carbons 2. So total increase in oxidation number is 3. So for ferrous oxalate, n factor is 3. So now equivalent weight equal to molecular weight by n factor. Molecular weight by n factor. Now if you simplify this one, how much you will get? 1 by 0.2 liters, 0.02 liters. This is equal to 50 ml you will get. You will get 50 ml. Answer is 50 ml. Now come to the next question. For the reaction to a gas, it gives rise to A2 gas. Following data is obtained at 298 Kelvin. Delta H value in kilojoules they given. Delta S value in joules they given. Find the delta G value in kilojoules. Here some clarity missed. Some students are saying, sir, answer they asked in kilojoules. Somebody saying joules. Okay, just see the concept. Now see, delta G equal to delta H minus T delta S. This one simple, all of you know. Delta S they given, delta H not given. Delta H not given. That delta H value we have to calculate. Delta H. Delta H equal to delta U, or you can call it as delta E, plus delta N RT. Now delta U value minus 20,000 kilojoules, minus 20,000 joules means 20 kilojoules. Delta N equal to number of moles of gaseous products minus number of moles of gaseous reactants, 1 minus 2 minus 1 into R value. Remaining data is in joules, na? So substitute R value in joules, 8.314 into temperature. Temperature 298. Lengthy calculation. If you simplify this one, how much you will get? 22,477.57 you will get. 0.57. It is the delta H value in the calculation. Now we got delta H only. Now delta G equal to delta H minus 22,477.57 minus temperature 298 Kelvin into delta S value in joules minus 30, minus of minus plus. Now if you simplify this one, you will get 13,537.57 you will get. It is in joules. Some students are saying, sir, in kilojoules. Some students are saying, sir, joules. Okay, finally, it is the answer. It is the answer. If it is in joules, it is the answer. If it is in kilojoules, 30 minus 13.2, if you round off it to the 2 digits, 54, it will be. Now come to the next question. For the reaction x plus y, it gives rise to 2z. Initially, 1 mole of x, 1.5 moles of y and 0.5 moles of z are taken. Then at equilibrium, 1 mole of z is obtained. 1 mole of z is obtained. Now, if K equilibrium is x by 15, then find the x value. Find the x value. See, now x plus y, it gives rise to 2z. Now, initially, when time t equal to 0, x how many moles? 1 mole. Next, y how many moles? 0.5 moles. Next, this y value, this y how many moles? This y 1.5 moles, 1.5 moles. X 1 mole, y 1.5 moles, z 0.5 moles. Now, at equilibrium state, what they said? At equilibrium, 1 mole of z is there. See, at the beginning, 0.5 moles of z is there. At equilibrium, 1 mole. See, if 1 mole x reacts with 1 mole y, then 2 moles z will be formed. After starting the reaction, see, at beginning 0.5, at equilibrium 1 mole. After starting the reaction, before reaching the equilibrium state, 0.5 moles of z formed. If this one 2 moles formed, this one 1 mole will react. 1 mole will react. This one 0.5 moles formed. So half of that, this one 0.25 will react. So 0.75 moles. Next, this one also 0.25 moles will react. So 1.25. See, these are the number of moles only at equilibrium state. But in Kc expression, we have to substitute the molar concentrations. So number of moles by volume in liter. Here you assume that volume of the container is V liters. Now Kc equal to equilibrium molar concentration of Z square C. Here only we will do mistake. This coefficient becomes power by equilibrium molar concentration of X into equilibrium molar concentration of Y. Now Z value 1 square by V square, Z square. Now this one 0.75 by V into 1.25 by V. So see, this is 1 by V square by this one 0.75 by V, 1.25 by V. V square cancelled. 0.75 you can write it as 3 by 4, 4 by 3. This one you can write it as 5 by 4. So this equal to 16 by 15. They said x by 15. So now x value is 16. So it is our answer. So these are the solutions. But students, we got the 22 questions only. Remaining 3 questions, students unable to give the feedback. So that's why I given the solution for 22 questions only. Okay, bye students.